From a violent upbringing to international fame, it appeared for a while that Chan had finally moved on from her past. However, following a string of scandals, mental health issues, and her most recent arrest, her once loyal fans have turned against her. In this video, I'll take you through the events that led to Chrisean Rock's fall from grace on Blue Girls Club. There is no better way to start the tragic tale than with Chan's initial foray into the public eye, which took place in 2020 when she appeared on Blueface's sole fan reality dating show, Blue Girls Club. While the globe was under lockdown, Blueface made the decision to start a new business. He started an exclusive fans reality program, which brought a group of women to his mansion for a month-long competition. The prize was his love and affection for all of the women on the show. Rock, a young woman with a bold personality, and Chrisean to stand out from the others. As soon as Chrisean entered the mansion, it was obvious that she wasn't there to play games. Instead, she had her sights set on Blueface and was prepared to go to any lengths to win his affection. As the days stretched into weeks, Chrisean's fierce attitude caught Blueface's attention and drew him to her. The audience was soon convinced that she would win the competition, but there was a twist on the show. Among the women competing was Blueface's baby mama, Jaden Alexis, and it wasn't long before she and Chrisean got into a fight that led to Chrisean losing her front tooth, a moment that would become notorious and boost her fame. So how did it go down that fateful day that, with the advent of Jaden, Chan's smile began to last forever? Alexis and a group of 16 women in the middle of the show, Alexis and Chris got into a heated argument, which Alexis likely started out of jealousy because Chrisean had become very close to her baby daddy, Blueface. There were also rumors that Blueface was having an affair with Chrisean, which made things even more complicated. In the heat of the moment, Chrisean, who was only wearing socks at the time, slipped on the floor and fell into a small statue. The impact was abrupt and severe, and the loss of her upper teeth. Despite the regrettable and humiliating event, Chrisean used a rather different tack and chose to make jokes about the entire scenario. The incident was caught in an Instagram live video uploaded on Blueface's account, and it swiftly went viral on social media. In an interview with The Shade Room, Chrisean revealed that Blueface had kindly offered to pay for a permanent replacement, but she chose to go by the nickname The Big Baby because of her one-time appearance, which comically mirrored her circumstances. Decided to put things off a little and rock the appearance. I just have to go get it screwed in my mouth. So I'm putting things off. In all honesty, Chrisean stated that she would also win the competition, and that her public relationship with Blueface was the start of what is likely the most toxic relationship in modern history. However, before I give you all the drama, it's important to understand Chan's early years and how the trauma she experienced may be the cause of all the issues she has in her adult life. Chan's violent Chan was one of 7 children born to a drug-addicted mother and a violent father who spent the majority of her childhood behind bars, but never missed an opportunity to beat his wife and Chan's sisters. Like many women who end up following her path, Chrisean had an abusive father who was born in Baltimore, Maryland.
I don't know, like it used to be like things like he used to take her to the woods and tie her up and beat her up. And So my mom dealt with depression, anxiety on like a high scale, so she got hooked on antidepressants, which got abused, obviously.
Chan experienced homelessness from the age of 9 until she was 18 due to her mother's addiction, but she found happiness in sports, especially track and field. Her talent and perseverance allowed her to become a Division I athlete, which was a huge accomplishment that gave her the opportunity to leave her difficult past. At the time, Chan was a student at Santa Monica College in California when her life unexpectedly took a turn for the worse, and she made an appearance on the Fox television show, Ultimate Tag, which she won that season thanks to her athletic background. She took home the $10,000 grand prize, but it is the music and entertainment industry. In 2021, she made her debut at Blueface's Blue Girls Club. Blueface recruited her to his record company that same year, and she quickly launched her first track, Lonely, with Blueface. The following year, she released Vibe, which became a hit and received over 5 million Spotify plays. This success cemented her position in the music business and signaled her ascent as a potential up-and-coming musician. Now that you are all aware of Chrisean's past, it's time to dive into the realm of drama. As I mentioned earlier, Chrisean Rock and Blueface have one of the most toxic relationships we have ever witnessed. The first instance that demonstrated how out of control things were was when Blueface told the world that Chrisean had broken into his house, cut herself, and wrote "I love Blue" on the wall with her blood. Everything started on February 14, 2022, during this time. Following the gory love declaration, Blueface claimed that he and Chon were going through one of their many breakups. In a series of Instagram posts, Blueface claimed that Chon had stolen his Mercedes G-Wagon and used the vehicle to sell crack cocaine. He called the incident a fatal attraction-style situation, and to further demonstrate his honesty, he leaked a series of text messages between himself and Chon in which he urged her to drive home and not ruin her life. "You have messed up your life," he said. "Police are waiting for you at the state. Good luck." Line Chrisean would respond with even more paranoid texts, such as, "Nobody's going to jail. Stop texting me like you're against me in the end, Chrisean." And then return with the car. Shortly after, on March 13th, Chrisean appeared on the Talking Is with Bones show, where she confessed to smearing Breakin's blood. When asked if she did it, Chris smiled. By May 2022, just 3 months after the blood incident, Chrisean and Blueface were once again together, which meant more drama. It was Memorial Day, Blueface and a day weekend. While the cause of the fight is still unknown, Blueface's mother, Carissa Saffel, and his sister, Kaylee Miller, allegedly got into a heated argument with Chrisean that resulted in a full-fledged brawl in public shortly after the incident. Carissa Saffel, Blueface's mother, took to Instagram to express her outrage and disappointment in a series of posts. She shared images of her swollen face. She called out her son and Chrisean Rock for their behavior in a furious and betraying caption, saying, "All I know is that my son will never bring that person around my family ever again in life. And that's all that matters." It was evident that her relationship with her son had been seriously strained. In addition, Blueface's sister Kaylee Miller was hospitalized during the altercation. Days later, Kaylee posted on Instagram to give her own version of events, claiming that her brother had punched her and their mother during the altercation.
Y'all, that Blueface is a lame. Punched me and my mother in the face, and lame gives no respect.
Claimed several men, including Blueface, jumped her and her husband. Chrisean would later explain why she beat up Blueface's mother and sister.
I fought his mother, I fought his sister, but I fought his mother because his mother was throwing shit at me, getting in his face, disrespecting him, disrespecting.
3 months later, Chrisean and Blueface would make headlines once more for the wrong reasons. In August 2022, while out drinking and partying at Twin, a bar in Arizona, they got into a fight that quickly got out of hand. Chon allegedly threw a punch at Blueface, striking him in the face. Shortly after police arrived, Blueface reportedly begged the officer to let Chrisean leave, but she was not immediately released and was placed under arrest on charges that would soon be brought against her, become the focus of extensive media coverage, even though Blueface didn't avenge Chon for the attack just a month after he sucker punched her father on camera. The video quickly went viral, and the incident between Blueface and Chrisean Rock's father occurred during a family get-together. Emotions were already running high, and it was obvious that something was going to happen when Blueface and Chan's fathers started arguing. Shortly after that, Chrisean's father threw the first punch at Blueface, briefly stunning the rapper. However, Blueface immediately after Blueface launched a Chrisean Rock's father is being cared for by family members, while Blueface is seen being pulled away by his entourage after a counterattack that sent Chrisean's father to the ground. However, just as Blueface stood by Chrisean after she publicly humiliated his mother and sister, Chrisean also came out in a series of since-deleted tweets to support her boyfriend. Chrisean expressed her thoughts in a tweet, stating that her father was intended to be knocked out a long time ago. She also described how her father had abused her mother and how, when she was a child, the same father had been knocked out. Was the same man who, when I was 7 years old, tied my mom up in the woods to beat her because she screamed so loudly in front of us. He went out of his way to harm his entire family. Just a month later, in September, Chrisean Rock and Blueface made headlines once more for the wrong reasons. They were walking through the streets of Los Angeles at night when they got into a heated argument that quickly escalated into a wrestling match. The end result was that Chrisean's lips were cut by a Blueface punch, and the photo went viral on Twitter. There were hundreds of comments condemning Blueface's behavior, but to everyone's surprise, just a few days after the post, Chrisean made headlines by withdrawing her allegations of domestic abuse. However, for whatever reason, Chrisean chose to accept responsibility on an Instagram live stream, telling her fans that she had a mental breakdown, had consumed too much alcohol, and was attempting to jump out of a moving car on the highway.
I had a bad trip yesterday to Casamigos, trying to jump out of a car on the highway. Blue tried to keep me from jumping out the car. I the nigga, like, trying to get the up out the car. He's trying to save me, and I'm just like, I just blacked out.
Reloaded with so much drama that I couldn't possibly list them all, but that only covers 2022. In 2023, Chrisean became pregnant with Blueface's child, adding even more drama to the couple's troubled relationship. The first Christian's audacious remark on the Know For Sure podcast sparked discussion around this subject. Chrisean acknowledged having several previous abortions with rapper Blueface halfway through the interview. Christian disclosed that over the 3 years they were together, she had ended at least 3 pregnancies. "I'm keeping the baby."
If I have a baby, I'm keeping it this time.
Jesus.
What? I killed like 3 of them.
Okay, Chrisean, wait.
When questioned about the likelihood that she would become pregnant again, Chan said that she wasn't sure if she was pregnant, but that it wouldn't be the first time she had encountered such a circumstance. Chan confessed to ending 3 pregnancies in the past, and her statement, "I killed like 3 of them. I'm ready now," struck a deep chord with me. "If I have a baby, I'll keep it this time." Others, however, criticized them when podcast presenters Simone and Megan Brooks pressed them on if it was appropriate to have a child with Blueface. Chan's response was instructive. She admitted that she wasn't totally content and promptly corrected herself to state, "I'm not married." Fast forward to 2023, when Chan would eventually reveal to the public that she was expecting a child for Blueface. But this wasn't without difficulties, as she faced several censure for her pregnancy-related behavior. One comment on the social media platform X reads, "People are defending Chrissy and smoking marijuana while pregnant," while others even went so far as to call CPS. The first controversy started when Chrisean Rock were caught smoking marijuana in public during an episode of the show Crazy in Love. The internet went crazy and people criticized her for her actions. On a show that was being broadcast on national TV, Chan bravely smoked marijuana during her pregnancy, and her boyfriend was there to support her. In March 2023, Blueface took to her ex's account to comment on the dangers of smoking marijuana while pregnant, tweeting, "Lots of women smoke marijuana until their last trimester. There is no effect. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm only using it." Chan did not allow any of that to affect her. "I'm not biased, but tweeting the truth, whether it's in her favor or not, didn't help matters because it only made people view him as irresponsible. I won't lie though, whether the woman wants to smoke marijuana or not is up to her." The thing that truly grabbed everyone's attention was when Blueface asked Chrisean to take a DNA test to prove it was his child. This request caused a lot of hate, with some internet users making fun of Chan, but a few days after Chan took the test, the results confirmed her claims and provided some closure to the months-long rumors that had been circulating about her. She also shared her thoughts on the issue on her Instagram Live, voicing concerns about the traditional birthing process and making sure to silence her detractors.
Oh yeah, I got the DNA test. This is this child. It's funny because when we did the lie detector test, he wanted to record so bad, right? But when I DNA test, he should have blended me there.
Nevertheless, just months after the baby was born, in December of that year, Blueface shocked fans and followers by revealing on social media that a DNA test had shown he was not the father of Chrisean Rock's son, Christian Jr. In a series of posts on platform X, Blueface informed his followers of the results. "It's a bittersweet sensation, because I was coming to terms with the fact that I'm not the father, but it was unquestionably in my best interest. Thank you, Jesus, but he didn't stop there." The first post explained why I snuck and swabbed this baby. Today, he posted another tweet that said, "I can't even pretend I'm not happy as hell." For months, Blueface had been openly considering the possibility of being the father of Chrisean Jr. Despite his initial reservations, he had called the child his son on several occasions and even intervened in situations that raised concerns about the child's welfare. One particularly noteworthy instance was at a Walmart store where Chrisean Rock was seen inappropriately holding the child's head. However, things took a drastic turn when Blueface went live on Instagram to describe an incident involving Chris Rock and a friend named Marsh had left the child with Marsh in order to allegedly meet up with another man. Although Blueface may find the revelation shocking, the fact that he is not Christian Jr.'s biological father gives him a sense of relief and closure. It enables him to concentrate on his current family, including his 2 children with rapper Jen Alexis, without having to worry about unanswered questions. Speaking of unanswered questions, the next stage of Christian's life could have involved her spending a long time in jail, and the events leading up were chaotic and shocking for fans who were following the drama. Christian's legal problems on the set of the reality show Baddies East Chrisean in August 2023, Chan and online user WVicky got into a brawl that ended with Chan attacking Vicky. It was said that the altercation started because Vicky had liked a TikTok post a few days prior, albeit the video's substance was not made public. It is thought to have been related to Chrisean. Vicky claimed to have apologized to Chrisean when she explained the situation, but Rock did not accept it. Instead, the situation escalated into a pregnant Chan attacking Vicky, leaving visible cuts and bruises on her skin. Vicky then filed a lawsuit and Chrisean was imprisoned. The internet exploded with some pro-Vicky Blueface took to X to express his opinions on the matter, writing SMH in a since-deleted tweet while others dubbed her a rat for snitching. On November 10, 2023, Chris and Chizan attacked a backup singer at Tamar Braxton's concert. The night began with Chan showing up drunk and smelling of marijuana, as you might expect from a drunk Chan. She then got into a fight with James Chanel, one of Tomorrow's backup singers, because she had not learned her lesson. I told my son. Ultimately, Chrisean was released. Davis, a member of Tamar's team, claims that she was not permitted to go on stage AG to perform her music for the audience. The argument quickly got out of hand, and Rock allegedly hit Right Channel in the face, leaving him bloody and with a chipped tooth. The impact was so severe that Wright had to seek medical attention to stop the bleeding. But instead of expressing regret, Chrisean chose to attack those she believed were spreading false rumors about her. She went live on Instagram saying, "I've been brought up before, and I know how it goes a certain way. A false narrative saying this happened, she did that. I don't know. I think it's just a clout-chasing thing, honestly. I need to start defending my name." But when a video of Chrisean Rock entering the stage as Tamar Braxton was singing Love and War, and another video of Chrisean Rock twerking while posing for a picture with Tony and Tamar Braxton were made public, it became clear that she was lying. The zoom in on Tamar Braxton's face, which revealed her obvious disgust, was even worse. However, Chrisean didn't seem to care or even believe she had done anything wrong. Instead, she simply moved on with her life and kept pursuing influence. However, on April 27, 2024, everything came to a stop when Chan was added to Oklahoma's detention correction list as a fugitive. The story started in 2023 when she was the subject of a warrant for stealing Blueface's automobile and using it to transport and distribute crack cocaine. At that time, the poster with Rock's mugshot and charges was extensively shared online and in print media. Outlets Chan chose not to turn herself in despite being aware of the warrant, because she was primarily concerned about the welfare of her young son, whom she shares with rapper Blueface. Chan's choice to not turn herself into the police was mostly motivated by her concern for her son's future if both parents were imprisoned. Blueface has been dealing with legal issues. Their family situation took a drastic turn in June when Chrisean and their child went to Blueface's court hearing in San Fernando Valley, California, where law enforcement officers who had been waiting for her arrested her on a felony fugitive warrant related to the drug charges in Oklahoma. This arrest paved the way for Chan's eventual extradition to Oklahoma, where she would face the charges head-on on August 7, 2024. Chan was extradited from California to Oklahoma to face the drug charges in a possible 8-year sentence. But before she could be extradited, Chrisean had a distinct legal issue in California. Prior to being moved to Oklahoma, she was awaiting sentencing for an assault charge that had occurred earlier in the year. On June 18th, she was given a 30-day prison sentence for misdemeanor assault with a deadly weapon without a firearm. Following her California sentence, the extradition process started, and on Wednesday, the Craig County Sheriff's Office verified her arrival in Oklahoma and documented her transfer from a California prison to one in Oklahoma. The journey was closely followed by fans and the media. As luck would have it, On September 6, 2024, Chrisean was released from Oklahoma jail with her charges dropped. In an emotional Instagram post, Rock expressed her gratitude for being able to be with her son during this significant milestone. "To be with you today, set free a couple of days from your birthday, is a blessing," she wrote, capturing the essence of her emotional journey in an Instagram live session. At this point, on the evening of August 7th, she was facing the possibility of losing the first 8 years of her son's life if she was found guilty. Chrisean expressed gratitude to Jesus for saving her and promised to live her new life better, and with her son as her primary focus. We'll just have to wait and see how things work out. If you liked this video, click the box on your screen to view more related content. Chon's fate may have been awful, but she was given another chance to at least be a good mother to her baby.